let's go. There is no savior, just me and you. To back you up later, this world is so evil. It's changing my nature, still I'm so appalled. You thought I couldn't get at you. Oh, it's looking bleak, there's blood in the streets. Oh, a treat for the freaks, defeating the beast. Oh, it's been weeks, at least this moment's a peace. Oh, increase the heat. I wanna watch it burn. Burn. Come on. Burn it down. Okay? Burn. 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 I wanna watch it burn. I don't back down from anyone.
Alright, I'm in. Because look, there's some next level shit going on around here, and I'm with that. But before y'all get to beaming me up, it's a couple things I want you to understand. First off, you chose me. So you recognize the skills. And I don't want nobody calling me son or kid or sport or nothing like that, cool?
Cool, whatever you say, Slick, but I need to tell you something about all your skills. As of right now, they mean precisely dick.
Hey guys, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. It is Wednesday, and we are here, and I thank you for being here. If you're not normally here, this is your first time here, welcome. This is where we talk about Hotshot Trucking and the transportation industry as a whole. Now tonight, we're going to talk about the collapse of the transportation industry, and it has collapsed. Now, as bad as that seems, we have a couple things to do here before we get started. First, we want to thank our veterans and first responders for all you do and all you've done for this country. Please note that our veterans and first responders are now in harm's way, and please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The Wounded Warrior Project and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, that's our charities of choice. We give to them every year. We've started a Patreon site where you can interact with me directly, and all the money that's gathered over there will be donated to them. Actually, next month, it'll be donated in December. Whatever's donated, we will match 100%. So thank you for helping us help them. All right, gas prices. Diesel prices are down to an average of $4.45. So that's down 9.1 cents from a week ago. It's just jumping around all over the place. The news, something here you guys need to, especially if you're running trucks, if you're running drivers. On November 8th, the second clearinghouse rule went into effect. The final ruling addresses the driver's licensing agency and their new requirements to use data from the clearinghouse prior to issuing a renewal or prior to issuing or renewing a driver's CDL or CLP. Now that means before your state can issue you a license, it has to go up through the drug clearinghouse. Now, every driver, we have to run through the drug clearinghouse. So basically, if you're running trucks, just be aware that if there's anything out there, say this driver comes to you and he has had a drug or alcohol problem and was placed out of service, that means effective October 7th, this driver will have to go through all the steps to be reinstated. Okay. It just makes it harder for drivers with one or more drug and alcohol violations in their past. States will no longer be allowed to issue, renew, or upgrade learner's permit or commercial driver's license to such drivers. CMV operators will have to have their CLP and CDL privileges stripped from their license until they have undergone a return to duty process. And that return to duty process is dictated by the FMCSA. Now tonight, we're going to be talking about the collapse of the U.S. freight market, and it's here. I mean, the market is just absolutely horrible, horrible, and it's every day now. We are running into brokers that have went out of business. We're chasing money all the time. Shippers are still shipping, but the freight companies are losing money. So, yeah, it's a rough market out there right now. All right, so trucking bloodbath snares fleets large and small, and it says from CEOs to truck drivers to dispatchers, all are raising red flags about the downturn that could go into the history books. Now, here are a few things. Just listen to this, because these are not small companies. These are major operators. J.B. Hunt lost $5.4 million in the first quarter of 2023. That first quarter, compared to the 2020, the previous year, they did $24.2 million in profits. Knight Swift truckload sector recorded an 8% decline in revenue. Revenue, that's your top line. Okay, that means a lot. They did 6.4% more deadhead miles and 9% less revenue per tractor, excluding the fuel. The operation, think about this one, the operation income of Landstar fell 37.8%. 37%. Old Dominion Freight Line said its April tonnage was down 15% year over year. That means they did 15% less weight volume than they did the previous year. Now, out of business and layoff. This is what's happening now. SEL Supply Chain Solution. One of our drivers got hit with a chargeback on this one. This company been in business forever and just rolled under. Couldn't compete. Couldn't do anything. So there's so much going on out there right now that it is really scary, man. We're running around tiptoeing through the tulips, trying not to step on landmines. A few more out of businesses. Certified Freight Logistics is a 95-year-old family-owned business. Gone. You heard us talk about Metalark, 40-year-old Montana trucking company. Gone. Sunset Logistics. Gone. FlexPoint cutting workforce by about 950 employees. They're like a cross-dock or warehouse type of place, but they're massive, and they cut most of their staff out. Elmer Butchett Trucking, 85-year Indiana trucking company, gone. Postal Service contractor, cutting 660 jobs. Surge Transportation, gone. Big J Express, gone. Fraud, theft, and abuse forces Texas brokerage to shut down. So, man, I tell you, it's everywhere. And these are just a little bit. Understand that what I'm talking about at this point is just a few. Yeah, I've mentioned others on here, huge companies that's went out of business. And what we're seeing, how that's coming toward us, is that we're getting chargebacks because the freight broker didn't pay. It was fraudulent, double brokered, or they just didn't pay and went out of business. Okay, so this is serious stuff, guys. I'm not being cute, quaint, or anything else. I want you to understand that this is it's like I've never seen it. Okay. Even when I was just a driver, a friend of mine is still running containers at the company I ran containers with. And to give you the difference, a year and a half ago, the load, same place to the same place, was paying $1,500. It's now paying $900. Okay. So it's really everything just falling in at one time. All right. So what's going on? Well, let's take a look at it. One, the pandemic is over, guys. Pandemic's over. We're not rushing freight. A bunch of trucks aren't tied up running emergency freight. We don't have people sitting around the house ordering all this stuff. And you have to remember, during this pandemic, all this stuff, everybody was just ordering, and it was all coming in. And remember the ships that couldn't get unloaded because there was such a backlog? So all this stuff was going on. And so all this ordering was happening, all this stuff was moving. And next thing you know, everybody starts getting into business. Why? Because there was a shortage. Now we're over capacity, way over capacity, both brokers and carriers, far too many of them. So economic conditions, this is another reason that the cost, well, it's on down here, but you have to understand inflation, cost of capital, those all work together as a deterrent for business to be able to thrive. Fuel prices isn't in here, but of course fuel prices. So if you're running on a tight margin and then your fuel prices jump up, luckily, for my guys and most of the people I work with, I hope that I've given them enough insight to weather this storm. Now, double brokering and fraud. I showed you guys a week or so ago the situation with the double brokering and fraud. You have one fake carrier set up who basically gets the load, raises the price, and gives it to his buddy who's a broker, who rebrokers it at a higher price because he knows he's never going to pay it. They're just here for a minute. They're sucking the life. Now, understand, today I had a broker that was not paying the bill. They were how far out? 70 days. 78? 78 days they hadn't paid. Phone number on the website, no good. Phone number on the FMCSA site, no good. We start digging, trying to figure out what in the heck is going on with this thing. I'm assuming that they're out of business. So we go ahead and file on their bond. Then we start hunting down who was the people that hired this broker. And we got a hold of the shipper. And the shipper said, yeah, let me see if I can reach out to these people and get a hold of them. And he did. And we got paid today. Well, supposedly. We'll wait till tomorrow to see. But let me tell you the indignity of this. So 78 days, no pay. All their phone numbers are disconnected. Okay. We finally start getting to the actual person who shipped this load. They evidently called those people. They had a backdoor number to them. Well, the broker emailed us and told us we were going to blacklist you because you should never have called the shipper. Well, fuck you. That's what I say. You should pay your damn bills. And it's Black Dog Logistics. Out of where?
Florida.
Out of Florida. So
Port Charlotte.
don't use them because they're not going to pay you. Okay? Don't use them. So now, I lost my mouse. I'm sorry. All right. So back up to here. Look here. Now I've showed you guys this. I've showed you guys this once before, but I'm going to show it again. All right. So this is per month. This is on a monthly basis. And this is how many new MCs are being added. And at the height of this thing, there's almost 9,000 MCs. Sorry, almost 9,000 MCs a week being added. MCs, motor carriers, okay, or brokers a week being added. This was the height. It starts in 2020, okay, and it runs through 2022. Now, experts say that we're not going to be out of this thing because we're not losing anywhere near what we need to lose to level this back out to a reasonable amount. But experts say now it's going to be mid-2025 before this all evens out, okay? Mid-2025. That's 18 months from now. All right. So here's another one. Total authorized for hire interstate trucking fleets. Right now, at the height over here in 2022, you can't see my little meese, but 2022, there's 450,000 or almost 450,000 carriers in the United States. That's 8,000 carriers per state. 8,000. And you wonder why freight rates are cheap. It's not the cheap freight rates, guys. It's the fact that there's 8,000 trucking companies sitting there per state that's able to run this. Companies, not trucks, companies. So until this number gets back down around, I don't know, I think it's 275,000, we're in trouble. And we're in trouble now. So they're saying this should level out and get back to normal mid-2025. All right. The collapse of the U.S. freight market. So what to expect now? Well, a lot of pain for the next 18 months. Mid-2025 before everything levels out. It's going to be a bitch. So that's what you need to expect. Massive company failures, both carriers and brokers. Okay. When I say failures, I mean the doors need to shut. Now, the downside to the brokers are these people that are crooks and are running around, lying, cheating, and stealing, not paying the bills. We're gonna have to be dealing with those. And I mean just on that one, we've spent the last, how many weeks are we chasing money?
3.
Last 3 weeks, just chasing money. And going to the brokers, filing bonds. Now we're on you got a couple places that has filed bankruptcy. So then we're going to have to file against the bankruptcy court to try to get that money. Some of it, will be worth doing and some of it won't. Some of it will just end up as bad debt. But let me tell you something. It's one thing to not have a load and sit. But it's another to run a load, use your equipment, use your time and your fuel and the expense, and then not get paid for it. Okay. This fraud is crazy. I never seen anything like it. More collections issues. This is what we're seeing. More collections issues, more bond filings, more fraud, massive money loss. We were talking to our account rep with our factoring company, and she told us point blank, it's making her head spin. It's something every day with somebody. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff is it's happening. It's happening now. So if you listened to me a year ago, 11 months ago, a year ago, you stayed out of this thing and you kept your powder dry, and you got about another 18 months to let everybody die off. Okay. So good job on that. My recommendations now. Well, let's see. Here you go, guys. 12 months ago. Is it time to start Hotshot? That was my 74th video for 2023. And then there's one that says 20. You can look it up on DD214's YouTube channel. But 11 months ago, I said 2023 and Hotshot, where you want to be. You guys need to go back and watch these two videos. You know, I'll tell you now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do watch what's happening. And, you know, I saw this shit coming, man. You know, I this is one time I would have been better off not to be right. I would have been okay to be wrong and moved on. If you're not in this business this second, stop. Don't get in. Wait and see what happens in mid-2025. If you're in and you can get out, do it. Get out of it. Look at coming back in maybe mid-2025. You know, you have to assess what your situation. I can't assess yours, but you know, all these guys that piled into this thing and yeah, it's just not good. If you're in and you can't get out, be very careful as to who you work with. Very careful. You know, a broker may be there today and gone tomorrow. We had one load where the broker actually went out of business. It was the Metal Art Company. Well, here's your deal. The load paid $2,000 for the load. By the time there was a run on the bond, by the time all the bond stuff, took them 90 days just to get through all the bond stuff. We ended up getting paid, or we haven't got it yet, but they ended up agreeing to settle for $92 out of $2,000. Okay. Now, this industry needs to shed 150,000 to 250,000 MC holders by mid-2025. And it'll do it. The question is it going to be the big ones, the little ones? You know, is it going to be me? Could be me. So, you know, it's serious stuff, guys. All right. Just remember one thing. I told you this was going to happen. I'd much rather been wrong about it, but this is happening now. We're looking at it. What's the question?
What you are talking about? You want to answer?
No, I don't know. What am I talking about right now? Tell me.
How to get out?
How to get out? All right, let me have it. Alan Swavey. Hey, buddy. When you say get out, should you park your MC or close it down and go through all that crap again later? Well, that's up to you. You know, Alan, if you've got the wherewithal to downgrade your authority and pay the insurance while it's sitting, which is, you know, going to be several $100s a month, probably $600, $800, $900. So Is it worth that? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. My prediction at this point is I don't know. You know, the big thing with us is, you know, right now we are fending off bad debt. These brokers that are either double brokering stuff, and we're having to spend all of our time chasing it, or we're having to chase and play investigative guy and go find out who the load was actually booked with in the beginning. So, you know, that's going to be on you. If you, again, if I had the money just to throw at it, I would downgrade it to nothing, you know, under 10,000 pounds, like a courier, and then see what the insurance would be on that part. But what we're seeing now is what we ran in August is just biting us in the ass, left and right. Double broker and non-pay, slow pay. You know, it's crazy. And most of my time now is being spent chasing money that we have, you know, already collected from the factoring. But guys, you got to remember that factoring will come back and get you. You know, it's only going to last 90 days and then it's out. They're going to come back and charge you back for it. So yeah, you have to decide, you know, how you want to do it and what you think in 18 months. 18 times, you know, the insurance rate would be what I'd be looking at, what it would cost you to park it. So thanks for the question. It was a great question, though. Thanks. You got another one? What you got? Ozzy, where online can you go monitor these stats? I get all my stuff from Freight Waves. That's where I go, man. That's my go-to for information. I would definitely go over there and start looking at it. I advise all of you to go over there and look at that stuff. A lot of their stuff is mind-numbing because it's kind of hard to get into. They get deep into stuff, and some of it, you know, I really don't get, and some of it, I'm looking for 1 + 1 = 2. So if I see that chart way up here and it needs to be way down here, I know we got a long way to go. Plus, it was Freight Waves founder that said he expected this not to level out until mid 2025. Okay, we didn't get there in a day. It ain't going to come out of there in a day. So also, Ozzy, since you're running a truck, you got to make sure that you're doing those drug and alcohol consortium checks and follow that new policy that's up there. Yep. Not planning on getting out. Didn't think about the insurance to park it. Good advice. Thanks, sir. All right. What else we got? Anything? Guys, I don't like these kind of things. I would much rather be blow smoke up your ass and tell you how great it is. But this is you know, if you get nothing else out of here, you're gonna get information that is good and decently reliable. So yeah, I hope that everybody's doing all right. This is a tough time. You know, we're all in a tough time, and everybody that's got an MC understands or will understand that, you know, harder times are coming than where we're at. We're going into a down season, you know, about second week in December, first week in December through the end of February. It's going to be a low freight volume. And think about it. You're going to have all these. It's normally a low freight season. So you have all these trucks out there trying to fret for, you know, a couple pieces of freight. You know, it's going to, the market sucks as it is. So All you guys, I didn't say hello to anybody. Can I say hello to somebody? You gonna let me? You gonna let me? Okay. Alan. Hey, Ozzy. Let me go up here. Where are we at? We got Dale and Robert. Hey, buddy. Marshall Trucking, Alan Swavey, JC, CA. Yeah, we got a lot. Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you look. Like I say, I don't try to be the Debbie Downer here, but I'm just letting you know. There are things that you're going to have to, as a trucking company or as somebody that's got an MC that's following me, I want you guys to realize one thing: get on top of your receivables. We actually, a year ago, we hired somebody to watch our receivables. When that thing goes to 41 days, we're on the phone with the people. We want to know what the hell's going on. And, it's a cost of doing business, but you got to stay on top, because if you don't stay on top, I'll give you one, we do a lot of work with Landstar, but if you don't send your paperwork into Landstar correctly and legible, they will set it over on the side. They don't even notify you that, hey, by the way, we can't read this. Can you send us another one? They will not. They're going to wait the 41 days. We're going to call them, and they're going to say, yeah, we can't read it. You're going to have to resubmit it. And that's when they start their 30 days, is once they can read it. So understand that. And you got to stay on top of it. Everybody should go to your factoring company today and go look at your aging report. You're going to look at your aging report. Anything over 41 days, you're in trouble. You need to be on the phone to find out what in the hell is going on, because most places won't go over 41 days. But what we're seeing now, and what we've seen since August, is that we have large companies that we have done business with for a long time that are pushing 70 days to pay. Okay. Now I'm telling you, this is a sign of the market. For those guys that are with me here, you understand, for the guys that are leased on to us, we take care of the backdoor stuff as much as we can. Same as I do my own. Everything I do for me, I do for you. So, but the guys out there that are running one truck or two trucks or whatever, do get on your accounts receivable, because the last thing you want to do is all of a sudden come up on stuff you ran back in August that's never been paid, and then you get hit with a back charge. Okay. So, yeah. Do I have any other questions before I shut this down? Freight waves? Yeah. Freight waves. That's right. Do you have a non-recourse? Cost me an extra 1%. Does not help with rates, but when I work, I get paid. I get it. Okay. I get it. Marshall Trucking. I understand. Normally your non-recourse is going to be a lot harder to deal with up front, meaning that you're going to have to jump through a lot more hoops to get them approved to get the load. Now, we do a credit check on every broker, every load, every time. That is our policy. The 1%, when you start multiplying that over a lot and start figuring out how much you're actually spending in factoring, you're going to get your feelings hurt. I get what you're saying, but it's not worth the 1% to me. So I would not. And plus it's tough enough when you do as many credit checks as we do every day. It's tough enough to get these brokers through credit anyway. So normally, if the factoring company factors them, most of the problems we've had was with new brokers. So what I do, I put in place a rule. If the broker's MC is newer than mine, we don't work with them. Period. That's it. I don't know what else to tell people, but you know, what I am doing is I'm grabbing my guys up and I'm bringing around and we're tightening up and we're doing what we got to do to survive. And I suggest you guys do the same. I do like the safety of the non-recourse, but again, it's when you're running as many loads as we run every single day, and a non-recourse will have to go through some kind of check before they approve them. We don't have time for that. So, got something else?
Mhm.
Hope that helps. Jay Carter, non-CDL store, nothing's worth getting into. Okay, nothing. Don't put a dime in it. Don't do it. You got a truck and listen, you get into it now, it's a bloodbath out here. You better understand what's happening. I'm telling everybody, stay out. If you're not in now, stay out because there's too many trucks on the road now. Wait till 2025. Take another look at it. But don't tear up all your equipment trying to run this garbage. What you got? When you look at a Raycon, the shipper's name isn't the one that comes up on Google with the address. Is that a clue for double broker? Everything's a clue, and you've got to check everything. There are times that there are weird. There are just weird things that happen in this industry, and sometimes it looks hinky and it's straight, and other times it looks straight and you get burnt. So question everything. You look at the rate confirmation. If you don't feel as though you're comfortable with it, no, ask questions. Stop. Say, look, who was this brokered through? And make sure all that stuff matches. Because when you get the bill of lading, it'll normally match. Okay. It will not, there are cases where it doesn't, but you can clarify that before you roll out. Okay. Check everything. One thing also we've implemented is that before the driver leaves the site, he sends the email here, or he emails the bill of lading in, and we just double check it and put another set of eyes on it to make sure it's okay. Just hell, we're going to miss stuff too, but at least if we got 4 sets of eyes on it, you know, we're less likely to miss it. Okay. Thank you, Alan. Midnight Hobbit. Does this go for all trucking, or is it? No, sir. This is all trucking. This is it. This is everything. The whole market has collapsed. You know, when you have a postal operator cutting 600 jobs or 300 jobs, whichever it was, but when you have somebody like that, that means they built around the pandemic with everything coming in, and everybody did. Everybody built it up. And now that it's gone, there's no legs under it. You build a house with no foundation. See, and it's these people that are going to fall away. The second part of that is that if you're an old house and you've been running on old philosophies, old ways of doing things, and you're not apt to change and evolve, overcome and adapt, as they say in the Marine Corps, then you're apt to fail. You have to be looking forward all the time and trying to figure out what's next. What's going to happen next? Well, the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to have a cold, hard winter for the next 18 months. Okay? Until some of this stuff drops. Okay, Miss Mee, do we have anything else? What are you doing with your company to weather the storm? Tightening up on everything, Ozzy. If the MCs of a broker is younger than our MC, we don't work with it, no matter what. We are reporting every double brokering incident to everybody we can report them to get them out of the mix. And this is some of the stuff you guys need to be doing too. Is these people are stealing from us. That's all they're doing. We have to make sure that the drivers are aware of the double brokering issue, and they're looking at the rate confirmations, just like we're looking at them here as best we can. And the bill of lading, they see them first, so now that's being sent in, and we are chasing money. That's what we're doing. I mean, I know this sucks. It sounds terrible, but we're looking at who we're running with first. In August, it seems like where the last part of July and August was where all the big double broker and stuff went out. And that's where people aren't paying their bills right now. So you're going to have to get somebody, Ozzy, on your accounts receivable and start pounding on them, figuring out what's going on. Don't let them get too far ahead of you, man. It'll drown you. I hope that helps. That it? Okay. Guys, listen. This is a serious talk. I wasn't even going to take questions tonight. I'm glad we had a few. But, again, I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm giving you the facts. You take these facts and do with them as you wish. If you need me, please reach out. We can talk. If you would like to, have me help you through different situations, I do it for a donation to Patreon. So if we can work together, all of us work together and make sure that, we're not getting screwed, and you notify everybody that's doing this kind of mess. And there's nothing you can do about a 50-year-old company rolling over and going out of business where you hauled a load for them. Can't do it. It's what happens. But you have to be on top of the bond filings. You have to be on top of your factoring. You have to be on top of your business. Okay. Now, that's all I got. So remember this. Love your family. That's all you got, guys. I appreciate all of you being here. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Look at my niece. And, we're out of here. Appreciate you guys. See you.